I want to hear it. Give me some love. I'm Ingrid, you don't know me, and basically what I do is that my food is all about easy, everyday stuff that people can actually make. And I have great respect for all the amazing chefs that are here at this festival. And what I do is different. I just do very simple food. I'm trying to introduce people to flavors that maybe not things that you're used to in your everyday life. And hopefully, by making it so easy, I'll inspire some of you that might not be an everyday, don't have the time to cook every day. Hi, how are you? So hopefully I'll leave you with some ideas of certain flavors that are not be your ingredients, but that you'll come off and maybe use your way. The first thing I always say is that my food, although I'm Latin, I am a mutt, and my food reflects the muttness in me, and I'll explain later why I'm a mutt. I do food from 22 Latin countries, including Spain. So you might have recipes in my book that are Cuban, Peruvian, Bolivian, Mexican, and always my main objective is to show people that Latin food is not only Mexican food. Because when I first started working in the general market, people would say, but that's not Latin food. I'm like, no, really? What is it then? So I always say Rick Bayless, who is this incredible, amazing chef, and I credit him for bringing Latin food and showing people all about Mexican food and introducing the country to Latin food and Mexican food. My job, however, is a little bit harder because since he did such a great job, now my job is to, guys, Latin food is not only Mexican. We have amazing Aztec, Inca, Spanish, food from the Latin Caribbean. I was born on the Colombian coast, which is very Afro-Caribbean food influence. So we cook a lot with fruit, with coconut, with all sorts of flavors that maybe when you've been used to Mexican food, you'll look at it and you go like, that's not Latin food. Why do I say I'm a mutt? Because I'm Colombian born, but my mother, although being Colombian, her parents are, my ancestors are Basque and Catalan. So today's menu is all Spanish. We're going to start with a paella, but the Ingrid version, which means the easy version. It is sort of loosely based on a Valencian paella. Valencian paellas, which are the authentic, that was the beginning of paellas, from the eastern coast of Spain. You've got the traditional Valencian paella, and then you sort of have the mixed paellas. And I'm kind of doing like my own little version of. Then in the Basque country, you have the black paellas, which are cooked with black ink. And then you have Catalan paellas, which are with fideos, with pasta, with noodles. So today we're doing a rice paella, very easy. So then on mom's end, although her parents were from one side, mom was from Basque and Catalan, her father is Bolivian, from a Peruvian mother, and raised in Argentina. So I was raised in a house where, funny enough, when I was a kid, kids would come over for lunch or dinner, and everybody's like, these people are weird. And some peppers, and kind of make like a sofrito. And a sofrito really only means sauteing and sort of base ingredients. In this case, it's not a mille pois like the French, but it is sort of like the basis. One onion, that garlic, but here goes about 4 cloves of garlic. So we've got our onion. So what we do now is just adding the green pepper, and I have a little sort of like, I call it my lazy chica tip of how to do it. And literally, when you cut it in half and you have to seed it, etc., you just go like this, like this, like this, and all the seeds are out, and now it's just a question. And generally I save these to throw either in whatever stock I'm making or in any stew. If I feel like chopping it up, then I do, but starting out with just this, and we're going to clean out the white parts of the paella, which is the saffron. And look at this, the Alessandro from Spain, beautiful box. You guys are all familiar with taco? Yeah. Okay, so Irish family, and mostly grown in the Middle East, so I guess that probably it's the more taste. We're going to do the rice. So again, this is sort of like the middle ground between a risotto and an arroz con pollo, chicken and rice. So, or like you would cook rice. Generally, when cooking rice, the Colombian version is once you put it in, don't touch it. Don't, and people always tend to want to touch it, but then you're changing the temperature and the even cooking. So this is the only time that we would do a little bit of stirring. We would wait for the liquid to be absorbed. Once you see it absorbed, you would add again. And at some point you try, obviously we're going to put some salt and pepper into this, ideally rock salt, and we're going to pretend that we need to wait for the liquid to be absorbed. Those two together, and why seafood scallops instead of bay would be very little, because the bay, obviously, because of the size, would cook at a different time than the shrimp. So always when picking a topping for a paella, you either cook before, like I told you the story of the short rib with the chicken, and you brown it, and you get it to a point where once you throw them in, either the sizes are equal, so that everything cooks at the same time. Here the idea was the shrimp and the scallop, and then